Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that each and every one of you is here. So, I have personal readings available. It's the community section, or it says like posts. I think it's one of the two on my channel page. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check those out. And then thank you so much for your donations. They really help out the channel, and I am so blessed. So thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you. All right. So I am going to do, it's called a Fated Life versus Destiny Life spread. And it is done with the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the artwork is by Danielle Noel. Um, so I already pulled the cards. I kind of tapped in and felt the energy a little bit um before recording. So we are just gonna jump right in. Okay, so the first card is the Call of the Ego, the Obvious Life. Okay, and the card that came out for this is You Got the Love. It's talking about Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. And so, what this card is talking about is it's about having the ability to see somebody's highest good all the time. And so, when you have this ability, it is a gift. It can also kind of feel like a curse sometimes because when people are showing up in ways that are hurtful, are, you know, just more human tendencies, we'll say. If you have this ability, what you can do is you can see through those actions at the soul level. And so you can still see them in their highest potential. And so it's a gift because being able to see people like that, you you really see the essence of somebody. Where it can be challenging as a human is what this can easily lead into is codependent tendencies and a tendency to where you're not taking care of yourself first and showing up for yourself and going through self-love first and then having healthy boundaries so that so you're not drained basically. Um and so that's more of like the ego self and how that's showing up in life. And so what we've got is we've got the ego self, the call of the soul. And then we've got this card sits here, and that's the bridge. So this is how to bridge the two so that you can come into more alignment. That's basically the purpose of this spread. The next card that came out is the Destiny Life, which is the call of the soul. So this is the great severing. We've got Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. And so what this is about, Mars is it's a warrior energy. And the thing is, what can happen is if we've been codependent and put our own needs last for a very long time, then we embark on this self-healing journey. And then what can happen is all of a sudden you start to tune into self-love, and then you realize how many people you allowed to treat you in subpar ways. You allowed people to take advantage of you. Maybe you were in situations where you were victimized. Um, what that can lead to is being closed off and having the heart space closed off. And so, what this card is talking about is allowing yourself to, again, enact some boundaries, right? But also soften up to love. So you've got this dualistic thing going on. And I definitely understand this energy. I resonate with this. So you've got this dualistic thing going on where there's a part of you that just wants to love everybody for who they are and really allow them to be them, which is a great thing. This is the energy of being completely closed off in the heart space and not wanting to get too close to people out of the fear of being hurt, which if you've walked around in life a lot like this where you haven't had a lot of boundaries and things like that and you're cracked open all the time, that allows for people to come in and take advantage of you, that allows for that, narcissistic empath dynamic to really take root, things of that nature. And so, what you're being asked to do right now is to kind of blend those two and to still allow yourself to see the beauty in everybody and everything, still be understanding and empathetic, even of those people who are showing up in, again, subpar ways from our human perspective. And then this is where this bridge card comes in. So this is the leap, the challenge, or decision to face, and the change or action you're being called to make. So this card is Child of the Cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. And what this is talking about is this is really allowing yourself to surrender to your divine intelligence, basically. Surrender to the higher power that you believe in and allow that to work through you. And then also to understand that having good boundaries is a form of self love. And so you can have good boundaries and still come from an open heart space and then show up in the world where you are allowing yourself to have both of these energies in a healed way. Top card. Okay. All right. Huh. Okay. So I heard to pull one more card from the top as part of this message. And the card that came out is Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, and Conflict. Okay. So I'll show you the card. What's the message here, Spirit? Okay. I'm being told to look in the book really quick. Give me just a minute. Okay. Okay, so the constellation Orion is thought to by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many star seeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart, drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the difference? Okay, so the soul inquiry that goes with this card is which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? How are you being called to allow growth through the conflict? So, what I'm picking up from this card is there may be one relationship in your life in particular that you're still moving through and healing and changing the dynamic and allowing yourself to accept. I am picking up parental energy, but that doesn't have to be the case for everybody. This could be a significant other, maybe a, really, really close friend, something like that. And what the message that's coming through is through this relationship, some of these karmic dynamics are playing out because there's still stuff to learn on both ends. And so really take a little bit of time with yourself and kind of go within, get introspective, and see what else in this relationship you are ready to learn. And then also get real with yourself and ask if there is anything left to learn. Um, so that's part of the message here for some of you, accepting the fact that this relationship is coming to a close, maybe what you're being asked to look at. And that's going to vary for all of you. And so if that doesn't resonate, just leave that for somebody else. There is somebody that is going to resonate with that though. You're going to be getting like that intuitive knowing, maybe you're getting goosebumps, or I've heard them called spirit bumps, where you get chills, your ears start ringing, something like that. That's going to be your confirmation. Um, if that's the case, what you're being asked to do is to really get honest with yourself and know that closing out this relationship is going to allow you to really, really step forward and bridge these two sides of the self a lot easier, would probably be the best word. Um, if you're attempting to bridge these two sides and really come from a heart-centered place and have good boundaries and everything else, and there's a relationship where this dynamic has been there for a very long time, where it's this codependent, it's a relationship where it needs like constant work, constant reinforcing of boundaries, constant, you're always on guard, something of that nature. Then the message, if that is your experience right now, the message is to go ahead and allow yourself to release that relationship. You might not need to release it fully. It just depends on the nature of the relationship. And you're going to know this. The message here is to allow yourself to release it in whatever way that is for you. And so if that means that you release it and you go to a point where maybe you only communicate with this person once a week instead of once a day, once a month instead of once a week, release it and allow yourself to have more distance and space. If this is in a relationship that's really draining you and you're not ready to fully let it go. If you're being called to fully let it go, the universe is saying that you are ready, and you know this. And allow yourself to move through the emotions of it, and also put on your bravery hat and know that you got this. And that's where this just came back up to. Um, you're a child of the cosmos. You have everything you need within you to take this leap. And so allow yourself to do it. I just heard don't be rash about it. So maybe if you're like, okay, this is me, I'm ready to end this relationship. If there's some things you need to do beforehand, getting your finances in order, or, something like that, make sure you do that. And also make sure you're not using those things as an excuse. So there's a fine balance there of not being rash and, just like, F it, I'm done, I'm out, and damn the consequences kind of thing. And then well, I'm gonna wait until I can have this amount of dollars saved up and this and that and the other, and that's more of that excuse energy. So just be real with yourself. I feel like at this point, you know which end of the spectrum you're on, you know which way you tend to lean. And so this is just the universe coming up and saying it's giving you the green light and saying now is the time, this is going to be for your highest good. And it is a soul calling that is leading you in this direction. Wow. Well, that took a little turn there at the end I wasn't expecting. So I hope that that really helps. Sorry, still got some cold symptoms a little bit. This message really wanted to come through, so I was like, all right, spirit, let's do it. So excuse the sniffles a little bit. um Okay, so with that, I don't feel like anything else wants to come through. If you like this reading, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If this does resonate, leave me a comment below. I love the confirmation to know that the message is getting out there and being received. So thank you so much for those confirmations. And if you would like to see more messages from me, you can hit that subscribe button. It is free, it doesn't cost anything. And I will see you on the next message. Bye.